It's about the hue and the
See, Sharon? See, that'll... Yeah. And see, with Obama, I got him really good, too. And I was way back pretty far, but I was able to get him. Yep. Okay.
You probably say no. Hey, you know, it's okay. I'm going to see a president in these days, so I don't really care if I get
Yeah, that'll be good.
or a quart.
Just move this up,
You know, and
so you don't have to raise it clear up.
Thank you very much. Well, I must say, I was told there was a big crowd here, but I had no idea how big. Thank you for coming. I want to thank you all for being here. In particular, I want to thank Mayor John Morrison, the Mayor of Ashland, Mayor of Jacksonville, Jim Lewis. I want to thank, I'm almost blind, Jackson County Commissioner Dave Gilmore, and Paulie Brady, Jackson County Democratic Chair. Thank you very much. Thank you, all of you, for being here. And thank you for coming out to this meeting. This is my first stop in Oregon for Hillary in this campaign, and I'm glad to be back here. I like it here. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an amazing election, and aren't you glad your votes are going to count? Now, I know there are some people in Washington that have been saying the last few days, oh, we just ought to stop this now, but we shouldn't stop this now. Because I believe Hillary's going to win a big victory in Pennsylvania, as she did in Ohio and Texas. And if you vote for her, she will be the nominee and she'll be the next President of the United States. That is up to you. She believes that it's a good thing we're going to take these elections all the way through to the end. She thinks it's a good thing that the people of Oregon and Montana and South Dakota and Puerto Rico and Kentucky and West Virginia and Indiana and North Carolina and Pennsylvania are going to be heard. And she thinks we ought to let everybody vote, and she thinks we ought to count all the votes. She doesn't understand why we're not counting the votes in Florida. She thought it was the Republican Party that didn't want to count Florida voters. So we're glad to have you here. Now, this has been an amazing election year. We've had more people involved, more people working, more people voting, and more people giving money over the internet. It's been an amazing year. In fact, Hillary wouldn't be here today if it weren't for people like you who realized she didn't have any money after she won those big victories in California and New Jersey and Massachusetts on February the 5th. And then 300,000 people, ordinary working people who weren't used to giving money over the internet, sent her $30 million so she could go on and win those victories in Texas and Ohio. Even though she was outspent by millions and millions of dollars, she won anyway, thanks to people like you who just went to HillaryClinton.com and sent her 10 or 25 bucks or whatever. So here we are. And it's very interesting. It's a truly historic election year. In different ways, all three of the candidates that are left, including Senator McCain, are historic figures. A lot of political history has been made. But that's not what's important in this election. What's important in this election is who will make the best future for America and for you. And I must say, I'm always a little apprehensive when I do these things. I think, you know, half the crowd's looking at me thinking, I better discount about half of what old Bill says. I mean, after all, they're married. He's got to say that stuff or he can't go home tonight. Maybe there's some truth in that. But I want you to know something. Yes, I love her, but I love my country too.
Yeah.
And I think this great outpouring in America has come because of an overwhelming majority of our fellow citizens know we have to change the direction of this country. Economically, socially, and we got to restore our leadership in the world for peace and prosperity and cooperation. And what I want you to know is that knowing what I know about the presidency, about the challenges of the office and the immense possibilities, and what I think I know about this country, and since I've been out of office, I've learned even more. I have a presidential library and a school of public service in Arkansas where I was governor. I have an office in Harlem in New York City. I work on helping young people stay away from the enormously rising tide of childhood diabetes because of obesity. I work on trying to help 28 million Americans who have checks every 2 to 4 weeks but don't have a bank account and therefore have to pay hundreds and hundreds of dollars a year in alternative financial transaction fees getting into the banking system. So I raise money from the wealthiest Americans, but I work with the poorest and people in between. I'm still working trying to help New Orleans recover from Katrina. Our foundation works with 40 cities on 6 continents, including in America, Philadelphia, New Orleans, New York, Los Angeles, and Chicago with the Merchandise Mart, to fight global warming and prove you can create more jobs fighting it than you can giving in and pretending